Hi, welcome back to Lawyerist Lens. Today we're going to tackle organizing your digital files. Now, this causes a lot of consternation to a lot of lawyers, and it's fundamentally quite simple. So we're going to knock it out pretty quickly. First of all, if you've got paper files, you probably have them organized in some kind of a bucket file or a red rope or a filing cabinet. And my guess is each client matter has a container, and in that container you probably have manila folders or two-prong folders or something that are labeled correspondence and documents received from client and notes and research and pleadings or contracts or originals and things like that. So whatever your folder structure is that you use, just replicate that on your computer. Have a folder for each matter, and in that folder, put additional folders for each of the manila folders that is currently in your client matter container. That's all you actually really need to do when it comes to organizing your client files. Make sure it's in a central location so everybody who needs access to the files in your firm can get access to them and everybody can file things in them. And that's really all you need to do to organize your paperless files. Now, naming is important, so let's talk for a moment about that. When you name files, I think it's really convenient to have the date in the file name, because then you can open up your Finder or you can open up Windows Explorer and you can just look at the folder and it will have them all organized by date, which is usually how we want things organized in our legal files. And the way to do that is not to put the month first like we would ordinarily do in the United States, because then if your case spans multiple years, all of the Aprils will be grouped together and that's not what you want. So you name them with the 4-digit year first, and then a hyphen, then the month, and then a hyphen, and the day. And that's actually the international standard date format anyway, so you might as well use it. But name it with that date first, year, month, day, and then give the file a descriptive name so that when you're looking at the folder on your computer, you can tell what all the documents are. So for example, if it's a letter, I say letter from so-and-so to so-and-so, and that helps me understand at a glance who it's for. It's also really convenient if you're ever in litigation and you need to provide a list of files for a privilege log. You can just list all of the files in the directory and you don't have to go and manually name all of those files. Makes it convenient. So where do you put all of those client files? I think you just need a client files folder. I think it's useful to have a billing folder for files that are closed but that you're still billing on, and obviously a closed file folder. And to help you do conflicts checks, I think it's useful to have a declined files folder where you keep whatever documents you may have received from clients who you've decided not to take their case for whatever reason. How long do you keep your files? That's probably a subject for a different video, but talk to your malpractice provider about how long they recommend. The wrong answer is probably to keep them indefinitely. You should have a document destruction policy, and it should say how long you keep those files, and then once a year, once a month, whatever, you should go through your closed and declined files and delete those files so that you don't have things longer than you need them. In your document templates folder, you should have a folder template where you just have empty folders with whatever your folder structure is going to be, and then you just copy that folder every time you open a new file. You can even build in automations that will do that for you. And that's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot to organizing your paperless files on your computer or server or your shared document drive. It's pretty straightforward. Just replicate what you're doing offline, online, and then use it as your core file. And you can do whatever you want with your paper after that. Some people like to keep it. Most people need to keep originals, but most people don't need to keep all that extra stuff that was copies in the first place and you just scanned it in. You can get rid of that stuff and enjoy losing that weight, that baggage, that was all of those paper files that you had to carry around with you and file and store. And now, whenever you want to work on a client file, you can open up your file structure and find exactly what you need when you need it so that you can get your work done. That's all for this week. Please join us next week on another Lawyerist Lens.